All three of us?
Yep.
All right. And are we live? Yes, we are. So, approve the minutes of 11/2 meeting. I need a motion.
I make the motion.
Second. Any admissions, corrections, or errors?
Not now.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. This is where we have a section for appearances by local citizens and visitors. I got Barry on here. Are you here to talk to us about something?
Yeah, you guys sent me a bill for $2,000 for a pump.
Oh,
That's
we
under
should-
water and sewer.
we should address that under water and sewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So Barry, I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay. I'm trying to do something different here.
New camera?
No.
You want me to run it?
Well, I'm going to try this because, here's what I'm going to do here is, where am I? Okay, wait a minute. I want to put it on selfie, and then I can talk, you can see me, and they can also see you somewhat. So I'll try that. See how that works. I don't know if it's going to be jiggly. So anyway, I'll start out by, the Secretary of State had a transparency tour, and it was at the library. I don't know if anyone went. Anyone was aware of that? James Condos.
What was it about?
He's doing a transparency tour, and he's going from town to town. Not every town, and like Brattleboro, Burlington. I forget what other places, and I guess he chose Newport, and he did it at the library. So anyhow,
Did you go and film him?
no, I didn't know about it, unfortunately. I don't know whether this should be kind of weird looking at myself in background.
Smile.
Yeah, I ain't much of a smiler. But anyway, so I started looking around. I wanted to see if anyone had done it. So sure enough, it was a beauty in Brattleboro, and he's going through the open meeting laws and the Public Records Acts one by one, and each one he would do case studies, ask questions, and it's really nice. Like the behind the scenes of the laws, because laws can be daunting, as we know. But he would say, well, this is this law, and you go through it one by one. And then say, sometimes there'd be questions and answers, intelligent questions by, members and stuff. It was outrageous. I thought it was very good, and the only thing about it was like an hour and a half long. And, it was as good as it was. And I'm looking around, they only got, 20 hits here, 10 people there. And I was thinking, what a waste, what a shame that he should put all of this effort, drive down there and everything. And so I wrote them, and I said, it's not going to work. I mean, all the effort you're doing, you get 10 people here, 15 people there. And I said, it's got to be done differently, So I made suggestions to them, and they're going to adopt the suggestions. I said, you can't have an open meeting. You can't have a video for 2 hours. No one's going to sit there for 2 hours. I couldn't make it through 2 hours. They wouldn't absorb it. And it's sort of counterproductive, and he would go, and he brought the two lawyers that I communicate with over there for information, Jenny Prosser and Chris Winter, and they were both there. I would have liked to hang with them. I've talked to them many times on the phone, as you know, making sure I'm up on the laws. If I should come here and talk about anything, I want to be right on. And so they said, yeah, we're going to do that. They all wrote me and said, I like that. I'm going to do it. I goes, okay, well, I can't wait for you to do it. You're going to do it in the next 6 months. I'm going to do it right now. So I figured out, I have a formula on how I can make it work. And that's going to be one of the gifts. I said I was going to give gifts to the town. This is something that will really work, I'm sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take his videos, which I can do legally. And I found some code. I can put start and stop points. Only 3-minute segments at it. I knew that wouldn't work. Sorry about that. Let's.
That woke me up.
Okay. Here we go.
Disability.
Okay, here we go. Disability. So that didn't work. Anyway, so I decided I'm going to do that, and I'm going to publish them. I'm going to publish bit by bit, so it will be knowledgeable for the next generation, and not only that, for us. Some of these things we could do better on open meeting laws and everything, and it refines it. And you don't have to listen to me telling you, or you don't have to just read it. You got James Condos explaining it. So I'm going to cut out these little sections and publish them little by little, and see if I can't conjure up some discussion on them, on Facebook and everything. So that would be the one thing. So that's going to cost me some time. I'm willing to do it. I was hoping maybe I could get some volunteers to help me out, and we'll see about that. So the next thing is let's see. So, that's going to be done, and you will see it if you want to care to look. And, next thing is websites. I know you people don't have much interest in building a website, I mean, I get that, and I get it. You don't want to spend the money, but they are very expensive. I looked around, and I know that I said that, maybe someday when you want to get a website, I would take this website and I would make it compliant, and you could use it. And, because what am I going to do with the website? I mean, eventually I'm going to give it to the town, So right now I've made a change in plans on that. I'm going to designate TownNewport as a people's website. So, and I'm giving it to the town's people, not to the select board, but I have a plan for the select board as well. You're welcome to come at any time, make comments, join the Facebook, whatever you want. And I encourage that. I think you people should kind of listen more to the people. You don't have any communication other than your 80-person constituency that comes and votes every year. You know what I mean? Hear them out. Hear some of the things they say. Like I said, when I collected signatures, they were very vocal. A lot of people on what they don't like. You know what I mean? But they don't have the nerve to actually, bring issue or even comment. They're even afraid to comment on these live meetings and stuff, So that will be the next thing I'm doing. So I am going to, and I'm encouraging committees, people committees. Now, I think this is a good thing. I mean, if people want to gather, it will be committees, just people committees, not under the jurisdiction of the board. So they can discuss things, they can gather, and they can vote, gather voters, information, share information, and talk. And I'm going to encourage this type of thing. So three things I want to give, right? And I know this is not going to happen overnight. I get all the time. You people are not going to be here forever. But as far as me, a resident, I'm going to be here for the rest of my life. I think, unless I win the lottery, but there's not much chance because I don't play the lottery. So that's. So anyway, the knowledge. I'm going to give bits and pieces of knowledge, and I'm going to put it on the website so everyone can share it and learn for the future. And like I said, it's going to be James Condos. I'm going to have a big chunk of that with him, talking to you and telling you how these things work theoretically and everything like that. And so that, it'll be, the whole knowledge base will be open meeting logs, public records, the code of ethics, conflict of interest. Now, the conflict of interest and the code of ethics, we're going to have some type of people committee to do that. It is suggested. I mean, it's not going to work if you come up with the conflict of interest and then you discipline yourself. That doesn't work. And they suggest, they want a third party, impartial, not on the board, to oversee this. So if they see something in a conflict of interest, they can bring it up, and then we talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's, that's why we need somewhat of a people's meeting. And so, we got a website, we got Facebook, right? Anyone's welcome to join. If you don't even want to join the Facebook, you can go there, and it is a public group. Anyone can go there and watch it. It's If you want to know the address, it's Facebook.com/groups/TownNewport. Okay? So anyone can just go there and listen. You can't comment unless you become
What's that?
a member.
What's that again?
Uh,
Facebook /
Yeah, Facebook.com/groups/TownNewport. And you can just go there. You can be anonymous. You don't know. I won't know you're there. I think I might know sometime if you're going to be there. And so, I encourage anybody to start using it. Use it any way you want. I mean, you can actually. The board has to be careful if they were to use it because of the quorum factor. But you can use it as long as you don't discuss anything that's going to be voted on. That's a sensitive issue that James Condos talks about, and I know you guys are aware of that. If there's only 3 of you, you're all neighbors, you know each other for all your life. You're not allowed any 2 of you at once to discuss any decisions to be made, because that would be a violation of the open meeting law and the quorum thing. I mean, 1 person, 3 is, you only need 2 people to be a quorum, so that's the way that works. And okay, so as far as the town, the body and website, I got a plan for that too. I mean, like I said, I know you have no desire to build a website. Other towns around the area have done it in anticipation of eventually it's going to be mandatory. This whole transparency thing is picking up speed. Every year they do something. It's 2015, they made it a criminal offense to non-compliance of open meeting laws. And then 2016, they did a bunch more stuff. And this year they did mandatory code of ethics. And, so every year, they're going for it. And what they want is, what is eroded is the people part of government. Is not happening. We know that. We got 1 person here, 2 people. No one goes to the meetings. It's getting a little better with the Facebook. We're averaging about 28 people, 25 to 30 people every month now that either tune in now or when this gets archived, they listen to it later. So we're getting, this effort I'm doing is working somewhat. I think people they expect. IT stuff. Everyone expects it, nowadays. You go on, you expect to be able to buy stuff online. You expect to be able to do all kinds of things, including this. And that's why it's catching on. Like my wife didn't want to come. She's going to watch it live. You know what I mean?
You record this every time?
Every time. And I post it. And so the other things I wanted to do, another thing, I want to do video minutes. I've been working for 2 years, and part of my enjoyment of doing this is, I love the creative part of it. And I have finally come up with ways to get the information to people. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do video minutes. I came up with the right code and everything, like the in and out section. So we have, you go and you see the minutes, and each part of the minute will say the first section, this one talks, and bingo, there's a video just with that section. And then the next part of it, there's it'll explain, the minutes will explain what happened, and there'll be a video for that amount of time, 10 minutes or whatever the segment was. Because as we know, people come and go to these meetings. They come when their time to speak or whatever interest, and then they're out of here. So it works the same way with that, So I'd like to do that. I'm going to see if I can help some people help me mark the tapes, the ins and outs on them or something, and make my life easier. I'm committing to a lot of work, but at the same time, I've come up with a lot of new tools and stuff that I can do the work quickly, because I don't want to, I've got a lot of other stuff happening in my life, and I really don't have a whole bunch of time. And, the last 2 years I dare say I put in more time than all 3 of you put together. You know what I mean? The amount of website and Facebook and video editing, and I can't do that anymore. But everything's set up, and I got some new tools. I can go real quick, and so that was. I know this is not going to happen quick, and you won't really understand it until it's in play. You know what I mean? But it is the future, and And, you know, like I said, we're getting people coming to meetings on the live. You know, people like it. They've got a lot of likes, you know, because they can sit in front of their computer and watch these things, you know. And so that's what kind of what, you know, we've got to, the whole deficit here is the people element. And that's what the government's trying to do, restore faith. Most people, they just don't want to participate. They're disgusted or think, from what I saw, most of them said they can't make a difference. They go to the meetings, they can't accomplish anything. That's what they say. I'm just passing that along. And, you know, there's this sense of frustration, and so they don't come and vote. I mean, the voting thing is difficult, and I think I'd like to see this. We are gridlocked in undue influence. It's without a doubt. Same people every year. They vote everything in, every single article. You know, it's not like, and, you know, it's not the way it's supposed to be. And I think with a little communication, if I provide the knowledge in bits and pieces and people start learning how this works, they don't know. The people don't know that they have the power to do almost anything. They can replace any of you if they vote. They can change laws. They could lower the water bill if they wanted. They could do anything is possible if people get together and gather together and vote, discuss, communicate. So that's my gift, and I'm going to work on that. And it will work. I'm positive, but it's not going to happen tomorrow afternoon. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my time up. I'm making an appeal to the people. If you'd like to get involved and help me a little bit on a volunteer basis or something, is, you know, okay, before I go, one more. The other gift is if you people, it becomes mandatory that you need a website, right? Which I'm positive it will happen. I looked around, you know, Jay's got one, Troy's got one, who else has got a few of them in the area. And they look okay. And so what I can do is, if you want, and save you a lot of money and time, is I could have an official town website on a subdomain. What is a subdomain? Okay, a subdomain is like it divides the website up and you put a dot between. For instance, the subdomain for the town Newport would look like this. This is what I might suggest to name it. TownNewport.official.com. That would be a subdomain. I would be able to grant you access, administrative access to do anything you want with the website. It's all yours. And then Town Newport would be the people's website, and that's it still can, you can communicate back and forth, but the subdomain would just be a simple, I think it's $20 or something to get the subdomain. And from there, you can hire someone. I use WordPress, which is the most popular in the world. 60% of the world uses WordPress. It's a content management system. You can go in there and change things. It's a little bit of a learning curve. And that's what everyone's using. That's what Troy's using. That's what Jay's using. That's what Westfield's using. They all use, and they discovered WordPress. I mean, I know websites. I've been involved with websites in 1996. I owned 6 of them. Busy as hell, so I kind of know websites inside and out. I can help you. I don't want to build the website for you. But if you want, another thing about is management. Management is costs money. I think it's average a few $100 a month just for management. But if you like, I can hook you up with some Indians. They will do the work from India, not American Indians. Outsource. I've been involved in a lot of outsourcing, and I've outsourced and been outsourced. You could hire somebody and you can get them, you can pay them $8 an hour. You're not obligated to pay minimum wage to someone from India. And you work with them, you tell them what you want them to do on the website, and they do it and they report back to you. They're like employees. I've worked with people that hired 6 and 7 Indians at $3-4 a piece. One client I had even made me the manager of 6 Indians. and it was really weird. But anyway, so you can take that and put it in the back folder, because when you come up, I don't know what they're charging. I'm guessing 10 grand for a municipal website, and then $500 a month to manage. So it's an expense, and they're not doing it. The Secretary of State and the other, the government isn't doing it now because they don't want to tax small towns, because they know it's going to be a burden, financial burden. But you have options to either learn the WordPress yourself, or hire somebody, or hire outsource. So that's what you can do. These are the ideas. I believe you will eventually have to. It will be mandatory to have a website. And in that case, I'll give you a hand. I really don't want the work. I don't care about the money. If you said I'll pay you to do it, I kind of don't want it because my time is all used up. I'm kind of back in the music business, and music for breakfast, for lunch, supper, and entertainment in the evening, more music. It's now a great opportunity for musicians, especially if you have technical skills, which I have, and I need every waking hour, as many as I can outside of chores, to get back into it. And I will, teaching, production, composition, whole 9 yards. And anyway.
Thank you, Barry.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that everything that you're doing will increase the number of people that will come to town meeting.
It will, but I need your cooperation too, to kind of encourage people to communicate a little bit.
The more people we can get at town meeting, the better off it will be.
Well, this first thing, I'm going to be doing this every month, and I'm going to, especially if we're doing something in here, right, that's applicable to one of the open meeting laws, and I'm going to point it out. I'm going to point it out. This is what James Kondo said, so we can all learn. I mean, I know you people. I've studied it pretty good, but I was listening to this. I learned a lot more that I didn't know, as you will. And you all want a better government, and I really think it's desperately needed for the next generation who doesn't come to the meetings. They don't know the laws. How are they going to function? You know what I'm saying? When the next select board comes in here, how is he going to know what to do? I mean, no one comes, no one listens. I've learned because I've studied and attended the meetings. So this will bridge the gap into that. And thank you for letting me talk. I know I talk too much and long, but it's all yours.
Thank you very much. Next up is Road Commissioner Fred. We were going to have Clark's here.
He was supposed to, but then he told me he was up here, and I asked him to come, and he said, well, he was going to email. Did he email you? He was going to send you an email and have you spread it out to the select board, explaining the truck and whatever's going on with the trucks.
I don't think I got it. So.
I have no idea. That was 3 weeks ago.
Oh. No.
So evidently he didn't come and he didn't send an email.
I haven't checked my spam, but.
That's all I can say, because he told me he didn't know if he could make the meeting, but he would make sure he had put out a good email to you guys and let you know what was going on. And so,
Well, I think we still need to meet with him.
okay, I'll tell him again.
To
But I
this
did
point,
tell him,
it's good
Especially
I didn't
after
get
he
it.
didn't send the email.
And he came to the garage, and I told him.
I can check my spam. Maybe it went in there. But.
But that's all I can tell you on that.
Doesn't do any good now.
No, well, the truck's good now, I don't want to knock on wood. but
Working good?
Going good now.
I mean, we still need to discuss
Yeah,
it.
I know,
That's right.
I do agree with that. And I did tell him how important it was and how you guys really wanted him here. And,
Okay. What else you got?
well, my man went today, he got his CDL.
Oh, for the air brakes?
Yeah.
Yep.
He had to do the whole thing over again to get it.
When will he know?
He already know.
Oh, he does?
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, he went today.
He got it?
And he
Yeah.
passed?
Yeah,
Great.
All right.
Good.
so that's a step in my favor. I gotta need some- Jerry know that. I had a hard 2 weeks there for a while, but I got it going. Everything's going well, so.
Good.
Other than that, I got nothing. It's
That's a good thing.
on the road.
It is air brake test. Right?
Yeah, he had to do that. Wow, he had to do the whole CDL over. He had to take his permit test on air brakes, and then he had to go down and he had to go through the,
Different truck with hydraulic.
Yeah.
yes, it's all different.
that?
And then he
What
told
do I
him to
call-
do
what
it
do I
the
call
whole,
it?
the whole course over again. Mike went down with him Saturday.
Redo
I did.
CDL.
I waited till 5 o'clock, trying to waiting to find out something, somebody tell me,
Because
and then
of their
finally I
break.
called him, and what's going on here? I wanted to tell you
CDL,
guys, you know.
He passed, that's all that counts.
I noticed that the sand on the roads is got a lot of stone in it.
Yeah, it's,
My tires are picking it up and throwing them all over my car and underside. And I just was curious if you had a hole in the screen.
no, that's something Psychic did for us.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
they didn't.
I just want to bring it
I
up.
understand that, yeah, I've seen it too.
Okay.
I can hear it on my truck when I'm going down the hill.
Pretty coarse stuff.
Yeah.
That's it?
Other than that, there, yeah.
Okay. Nothing else?
No. Nothing I can think of.
Good. Moving on. Water, sewer, solar. Anything for water, sewer? Everything going good there?
Water is going all right because we called that way to holding good and the Psychic is working good over there. They got their line all in all the way there. For their,
Have you been over to?
I went over a couple of times.
Okay.
I went over there and see what they were doing with Gary's. Talked to, well, Mark, the equipment.
Okay.
And the tour, well, Scott Rich, you had the pictures, whatever.
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a
Okay.
minute. I just wanted to find out from you, if system, everything's been working okay with sewer system.
No, I've got a new filter ordered. We just washed them last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And washing them out, I see I had two, they're tubes, I don't know if you've seen them. But they're standing about this high, and they're tubes that run up and down, and they were too broken on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to put it back in, but I called Ray, because he's the one that put the system in, and he got one ordered, and just so they get it, I'll put it in.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to, you know, it's
But there's two of them that are bad?
just two fluids.
Oh,
Just
In
two-
one filter.
okay.
Just two fluids, so hopefully it's not hurting nothing, but we ain't got much choice. You
Yeah,
can't
no,
just-
no, no.
Can't shut that one down, there's no way to
No.
shut it down.
The filters were washed last Friday?
Last Friday.
Is that something we should have, keep a filter on hand?
Well, I don't know what it's gonna cost or nothing. It's been, how many years we put that in? Been a
Oh,
long-
I don't know.
It's been a long time.
Oh, okay, so it's not like they go bad every year or so.
No,
Okay.
It might have gotten broke pulling it out, you know?
Yeah.
They were heavy, they really needed to be washed, but they,
Should they be washed more frequently?
well, we do it every 6 months. This year we did it, not every 4 months, so we can't wash it much more than that. You know, last time Ray came and we called that fix a Delson chamber, remember it was broke and he came and put all the parts in and they washed it for me that time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gonna wash it more often, you gotta find somebody else to do it. 'Cause these firemen, you gotta kiss their ass, excuse my language, but you gotta tease them to come. One day I drove up to Bill's house and had it all set up to come down and he's gonna go get Claude and we'll come. Well, they never came. Then Ray came and fixed Dilson chambers, I had Ray wash it. You know, it's almost playing a game here. Then you gotta wait, when they're ready, then they'll come to it.
Is there a commercial organization that will come and wash them?
Well, Ray, they'll do it, but.
Okay.
And Troy Boy told me anytime I want him, just call him. He'll come right over, no problem. You know, and my man here, you gotta almost kiss butt to get him to do it.
Well, then we'll find somebody else different.
And I told him the last time I called him, I said, if you guys ain't gonna do it, tell me. I'm gonna find somebody that's gonna, you know, and I was gonna call Ray. So then I got on a stick and they came that day. But it sucks.
We do make a donation to them.
But when you, yes, and when
No.
you run around,
We don't.
there, you
like
don't get
$5.
nowhere. No, you don't get nowhere.
Right, Fred, in exchange for that, you plow their yard if they
No,
ask
I
you to.
don't.
Oh, you don't do that
You
anymore?
don't do that?
No,
Oh, I thought-
they hired Graves. He goes in, he salts it, he plows it all out, and he salts it. And
Oh.
we also, if it needed sand,
Yeah.
we'd go do it.
I thought you did it.
No, I haven't done it for years because Graves, he was there early and he does a heck of a good job for me. He uses salt, so he ain't breaking no windows.
Okay.
Grays?
Graves.
Yeah, that's because they got a couple boys on there from Grays.
See, I don't have no idea on that.
Yeah, Corkins boys.
Okay, but they do a good job for him.
They plow in the wintertime, so he's their right-hand man. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's something to consider, you know. in the future, if we can't get them, we just call somebody else, you know.
Well, then, if Ray will do it, then schedule it
Well,
with him.
I talked to Ray, you know, and he was here the same day they were gonna wash him, and I talked to him, I said, I was just about ready to call you. You know, you do is give us a call, we'll be here.
Fine. You got your answer right there.
Okay. It's,
Not a
But-
problem.
this is free, but when you spend a month waiting for him, you know,
Well,
you ain't getting it done.
Is it something that we could buy how much water does it take?
Well, it takes you longer to get down there than it does to wash filters.
No, but how much
It don't
water
take
does it
much
take?
water. It don't take
So if we bought a 250 gallon tank, set in the back of the pickup with a little pump, we'll do the same thing ourselves.
And a pressure washer, we could have
Yeah.
a generator. Ain't
We
gonna
got
put
like,
all-
we
ain't
don't
gonna
have
put all that
electricity
back there,
down
ain't
there.
gonna put all that back in the pickup.
No, but do we have that? We have electricity down there?
No.
No.
That's a sticker, you know, if we did, well, yeah, plenty would bring up fresh water down, a little tank of water, but no, there's no power down there.
Okay, just asking.
No, I understand,
Just asking.
you. I agree with you.
I got my gas pressure washer. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that expensive with a tank and boom. You can pick up one of them 250 gallon square tanks you see everywhere for $100.
yeah,
Well, how are you?
What did Ray charge us to do it?
I don't know, because he was here to fixing the floats at the same time, and so I really,
okay. Want to get a quote from him, see what he charges? And
Yeah,
then we
would
can
you?
hire him, you know, maybe, if not.
but it only takes 15 minutes, you know, just to get him there to do it.
Well, I mean, if he does it for $50, I mean, again.
So I can charge you $65, just come over here. And then whatever it takes him after that, and you're paying for 2 or 3 minutes. And we go down, pull them out, and all Claude does is spray it with a hose, and we're done. Then we put them back in the socket there where you go. So it's not really a lot of, they don't do any labor. Bill pulls on a pump there and he gives it the pressure.
So we're
and
primarily
pumps it.
using the fire department just for their pumping water.
Yeah.
That's it.
And not much water by the sounds.
No, it don't take much water. I bet they don't use 200 gallons of water.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, on the sewer, well, we got Scotty.
Yep, we're gonna talk about that here. If we're done with
Where do we stand on the new water, the wells, and could you explain this a little bit? So somebody here.
What do you want to know?
Well, you had a meeting. You had a meeting, and your contract went out, and
Oh, that apparently had nothing to do with it.
so where do we stand on this? We're supposed to send out a newsletter, and we have no information.
Have you seen what's going on up in the field?
No,
You haven't been up by?
I haven't been that area.
They get the arsenic line all the way to Jerry's and the sewer.
Contract was awarded
Yes.
and everything was signed. Meeting occurred. JP Card presented a timeline on their completion and expected things. It all depends on the weather too, but they've been on site now for 2 weeks.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
3
roughly,
weeks.
I was gonna say,
3 weeks, and line has been put in for the arsenic to the treatment sewer
arsenic
system.
waste, yeah, the waste.
Yeah, waste, and the I believe the footing's been dug for the building. Has it?
I don't know. I haven't been over.
It hadn't to my last knowledge.
I don't know that.
Not to my knowledge, because I asked Mark about it, if he were gonna do all that this year, and they plan on doing it.
Yeah.
And I said, what about the building, you know, I said, seems like they get after it, you know. He said, they're gonna.
Okay. The construction trailers over there.
Okay, so we got the Skidoo Trail. Is this not going to bother?
Well, my bother you guys, they're gonna dig right across it.
No, I don't.
It's all dug up and
It's all
all,
back.
All done.
filled back in again.
Okay.
All done, filled
Well, I
back
just
in.
want- No, where
They
we stand.
still got to dig across the Skidoo Trail.
Yeah,
for
where the
their
Skidoo
water.
Trail goes, but
Way
that's-
down.
But they dig and bury the same day.
Yeah, and they come back it right along
Yeah.
to get 2 excavators, one backfilling, one digging.
There's just a small hole every night left, and then they move on the next day.
You won't be skidooing here for next month anyway.
Oh no, I mean I just don't want to interfere. You know, but we right now we don't know where we stand. Nobody's approached us.
So I didn't know,
We had no newsletter go out. You know,
but they're working on it.
so when are we going to get this information out to the water users there? I mean,
I talked to Becky last week at the city clerk's office. I was there for the ambulance stuff, and she had somebody die in her family or was sick or something, and she's had some things going on. But she said she was going to schedule another meeting, and
Becky?
yeah,
Oh yeah, I've been calling her
okay.
with the update. And I think she's gonna schedule a meeting. I talked to her yesterday or the day before, maybe next week.
She talked about Christmas tree down in the park, putting lights on
It's
that.
got lights
It's all
on
it's
it.
already lit up.
Oh, all right.
Halfway up.
Well, yeah,
That's all
I
we're
bet
gonna
as far
do.
as they can do.
Firemen did that.
I think the wind blew it down away.
Oh, maybe.
Well, that wind
Maybe.
blew.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Yeah, the firemen do that every year.
All
Yeah.
right. Anything else, Fred? Let's talk about your situation.
Okay, who was the one who decided they're gonna give me the bill for
This select board.
the select board? Where did you come up with that decision?
Well, we looked at the stuff.
Yeah, have you folk,
was-
this right here. This is a janitor's mop that they pulled out of the sewer.
That's good.
And somehow that mop went through my toilet, or maybe a 2-inch drain pipe. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you how that mop got in. You guys may think I'm crazy, but I'm not. First off, is that a grinder pump or is that an impeller pump?
It's a grinder pump.
It's a grinder pump. That
That's what Ray told me.
that would never make it through the pump.
Well, it did.
It did.
We were there
If,
when
that,
that pump.
if that's a
service-
grinder pump, that thing would have been not even in pieces like that. Okay. Plus the head of it, the opening of it, Fred, you know, is like this.
I agree with you on that.
That's okay. The pipe that goes in from my house to the once it gets there is 2 inches. That thing's not going to make it through a 2-inch pipe. Plus, once it
See,
makes
to me, your pipe coming from the house gotta be 4 inch.
it is, but once it gets here, it's 2.
That's right. When
Yes.
it goes down. it's
Yes, it's 2. It has to go through that grinder pump, through the impeller, up through the pump, take a 90-degree turn, still in a 2-inch pipe. It made it all the way past the check valve. Am I right? That's what you found on the other side of the check valve.
It was right where it goes into the
So
metal
this
line,
pump
so
mysteriously was able to do all this. It mysteriously got through all my sewer lines or whatever it got
Of course,
through.
line law, you did it too.
You know,
Scott, how many people on the line?
just me.
Okay, so it's just one person on the line.
Yeah, just me. we
And are
don't
you
use-
missing a mop head?
No, we don't use janitor mops. My wife
I
uses
asked
those.
him that.
So
Okay, I'm
how?
going to explain to you what I think happened, okay? My pump system, it pumps it up across the road, right, Fred?
No, it pumps it in the manhole towards Mrs. Mountain.
Okay, whatever. It goes to a manhole, okay? If you watch the sewer system during the day, it's kind of low. I've got a manhole by my house. I know what it does. In the evening, it looks like a brook. Everyone's taking showers and stuff. But when my pump pumps up, you have a backflow. That's why you got a check valve. I think this mop was in the sewer system at the same time coming through. When the backflow went down back, because you know when it pumps and it stops, it goes back. It got into my pipe and worked its way down.
If it can't get into a 2-inch line and go up, how's it gonna get into a 2-inch line and come down?
It isn't going into a 2-inch. It's
Yes,
going
it
into the
is.
main line.
Oh, you
That's
climb
a
down that
4-inch
hole up
line,
there,
Fred.
it'll make it.
Fred, that's a 4-inch line after that check valve. Am I right?
No. It's 2-inch. Go look at that manhole.
It's a 2-inch all the way across the road.
No, it goes up to the manhole, right up above you, right by that school.
That's 2-inch all the way up there.
That's 2-inch all the way up there.
But there's no way that
There's no
can
way
make
it can
it
come
to the pump.
down if it can't go up.
Well, how it can't get this cannot get through a pump, and I didn't even have a mop like this.
No,
That's
no.
what I'm saying. I just don't.
Well, somehow that got in there.
You know, it's
Okay,
just.
and it cost the town
I
and all of
understand.
the users $2,300 or whatever to
Not
fix.
counting the pumping,
Right.
because I had to pump it
And
3
why
times.
wasn't this brought up the day that this happened? I was right outside. Why did you not say, "Hey, Scotty"? I asked you, "Where's the evidence? Where's this thing?" Oh, I threw it away. I said,
I
"Why
didn't. I said, I don't want it. What the fuck I want to run out of that
Well, I
thing
would like
there,
to
stick
see it,
in
you
my
know?
hands.
In this situation like this, you come to me. You don't,
You were
2
home.
weeks
You had to
later-
go hunting. You were going bear hunting that day.
Fred. Don't bullshit me.
Okay.
2 weeks later, you show up with this, you know, and you honest. Come on, you know, I don't
I
even.
waited for the meeting.
Excuse me. You guys are just arguing back
Yeah.
and forth. We need to bring closure to this. That's in your sewer line. Whether it's a mop head or a bunch of rags or something got in there into the pump and plugged it. Okay? Do you think that that should be the cost of all of the ratepayers on the system to take something out of your sewer line?
If that could go through that, if it can get
Yes
through
or
the
no?
sewage line, it can go either way. Yes or no?
It
It
can't.
can, right?
No, you can't have something that's gravity fed down to the system, go back up your
It's
pipe.
not gravity fed. It's at an angle. That's why I have a pump. I want a lower line.
You have a pump because you're lower than the gravity.
Exactly. So this is low. It goes into the manhole. That friggin' clogging thing is there. If it made it to the 2-inch, either way, it can come down too, right? Because it is gravity fed, like you said.
It is not designed from the check valve to the manhole would be gravity fed.
Yes. So once it pumps, that's why the check
It pumps
valve's
from
there.
your house
Exactly.
up
That's
to the
why
manhole.
the check valve is there, because after it pumps, you've got water like this. So that check valve stops them from flowing right back in and say that the manhole's got a lot of water, otherwise it'd be flowing right backwards right into my pump. That's why
No.
there's a check valve.
Your pipe is about this much higher.
No kid, that's what I'm
Then-
telling you.
then
When
no.
the water is really high, it gets.
So you
it's,
feel you shouldn't have to pay for
No,
that.
I didn't do it. We didn't. We never had a mop like
Well,
this.
It may not be a mop head. We didn't send that out to be analyzed.
Well, I don't know what it is,
It's-
and you never.
And
showed
I
me.
don't know what it is, but that's what was in the pipe plugging it.
It looks like a mop head to me. It's got the base on it where you put it through the.
I don't know. But it was in
I'm
yours.
not paying for that. I tell you right now. If I have to get a lawyer, I'll get a lawyer. It's crazy. I'm an honest man. There's no way in hell I'm gonna get that through my toilet.
Have you been playing with the system?
I cleaned it.
You've been working in, you put up the no trespass.
Oh, I didn't. I was going over there.
You're not supposed
I never
to be
got
in
down
there.
there.
This is the problem I've had for years. It seems like around hunting season, that damn system goes down. Okay? And I get it to work. I mess with the switch. I get the pump down, and it pumps out. And then I call him or I call Fred. I usually leave messages around where I can. I can call you one day, and you didn't answer either.
So maybe you did something and you opened up the check valve and you let stuff in.
No, I did not.
We don't want you in there. And he's going to put up no trespass signs. So that
Okay.
you're
I was
that's
supposed
fine.
to have done
Not
that
in there.
already, and I didn't. I'm sorry, but I didn't. He had time.
Well, he's been
It wasn't-
warned now.
Yeah.
Stay out. If he's caught down there again, he can be arrested.
Do you understand?
I understand that. But I'm telling you right now, I mean, I get hit by a state trooper. Okay, you probably heard about that. So I ran this by my lawyer, and he told me if he has to, he'll bat me. He said, I told him, I said, who the hell is gonna put that? I can't get that down my toilet.
I know I had party witnesses there when we took it out of there. It weren't something we put. And then,
No, I don't. I'm gonna say you did it. I wouldn't say that.
no. But I had Dan Pepin. I had that 2 Austigis. I had my son.
Yeah, Fred,
I
I
was
am
there.
not saying. I don't know how the damn thing.
And I don't know either, Scott. And they can't come down because the
You
same
know,
place
how do I
right
know
down here
that
is
what,
up there.
years ago that Ding Dongs lived there before me that was not sitting there? I don't know. That's the strangest thing. You know, I sit there, my wife uses a bone up mop. She always has. With the pads. We spray the floors. That's all. I never used.
It may not be a mop head.
Well, it doesn't matter. I don't have nothing that big. It's going to go down my
It
toilet.
is some, could be rags. It could be
It's
anything.
not rags. It's strings. You can see it. It's like a rag mop.
I asked Reed the other night if they still had it in the truck, and he was going to check with Tyson and make it.
Man, it's not hard to tell
If
if
they
that's
might
a
have thrown
rag
it in the
mop.
truck, it may be still there.
Come on, guys. I'm not trying to
Sometimes
be
they
a
throw the
jerk
garbage
here,
out when
but
they get home and stockpile it and deal with it later. And I asked him if he had it. I'll drive up there, and if I have to tomorrow, and I'll see if they got it.
I must be a miracle or I get that down my sewer system. I just being blatantly honest with you. Why would I flush something like that down there?
We didn't put it in.
Yeah, I know
And if
you
you're
didn't. I
saying
didn't do
you
it.
didn't put it in.
I don't know
then
how it got in. When he showed up at my house, I really started shaking because
Yeah, he was.
I don't know.
I don't either. That's why I went to you.
Yeah,
Do you agree that it cost us?
of course it does. Well, that's part of the sewer. I don't, the act of God or whatever you want to call it.
Right, but it's those costs that
Man, I want
try.
disability. You think I'm going to be able to pay for this?
It's costs that we try to minimize. And when we saw that in there,
I'd be
the
mad too.
logical thing is that you put it in the toilet, or something got in the toilet, and it went through the system. That's the
Well, it's-
logical thing. okay?
I'm telling you right now, that is no way in hell anything like that. Seriously.
What do we wanna do? You're right between a rock and a hard spot here.
I'd like to know where it was found. Was which side of the check valve?
It was on the opposite, on the other side. It was
The
stuck
upper
right,
side
stuck
of the
right
tank.
in the pipe, so nothing could get by. We couldn't pump no water.
So it went,
But it pumps to
It-
that
It
point.
pumped one time.
It pumps from his house to that point.
Yeah, that's what the
And,
valve is.
and it pushes, supposed to
It don't
push
pump
up
from his
through.
house. His house, I think gravity flow. I don't know where the pump. Yeah, it pumps right there.
Okay,
And
so
it
it
comes
pumps
fr-
from that pump
Yeah.
through the check valve
Up-
up to the line.
Up 150 feet.
When they found it, it was on
But
the
it
other side of the
doesn't-
check valve.
You
That's
want
what
to talk? You want me to talk?
No, you talk.
thank you.
Then it pumps from there up to the line.
Yep.
When it stops, it'll backfeed.
It can't. No,
Well-
no check valve.
Where's the check valve?
It's right just the other side of the pump.
Okay, but is there quite a lot of line to the?
Probably 100 feet, 150 feet.
Okay, so that 100 feet from that, after it stops pumping, the check valve closes and a little water could come back.
No. It could.
Well, that's what the check valve's for, right?
Yeah, it's what check
To
valve.
stop the
is.
water.
It stops the
Okay,
water.
so it
Okay.
stops.
Can I get this
And there's no
people
water, way the water can get in from the sewer itself because it's up
that-
this
This
much
is
higher.
listen to me. Can I just
There's
open
two
up?
pipe coming through the wall, and that's all there is coming in there. Because Dan Pebble was there, and Tyson, he took a stake and he staked it all the way back, and he hit something hard.
Oh, how far up then? This is what I'm saying, Fred. This is what I've noticed.
We
I'm
laid
trying
the
to get
tape
your
out, and it
point.
came right back to the manhole.
Yeah, Fred. Listen. All right. You know what? I get that manhole's on my next to my garden. I looked at it when I first moved there. Oh wow, just a little dinky stream in the morning, a little bit, not that bad. You go there in the evening and check it. There's a friggin' river going down. That everyone's doing their wash at home and stuff. The water is high enough to get to well, that's why you got the check valve there.
I've never seen that water that high in the manhole. Usually take in what flows coming through, and then you got a little trough in the manhole.
Right.
And I've never seen it unless you got a manhole beyond float. That's the only way the water will come out. It could back up. And one time it was backed up on Mrs. Moulton's lawn out back there, and I had Taplin go down. That was when you first started. And I got Taplin out there, and we went out and we sucked it all out and got it cleaned out. I don't have the answer either, but I know you shouldn't have been in there. That's all I do know. Now, how we got there, I have no idea.
And I don't know either. I just,
No, and to me, it had to come through the pump.
It did.
That's
It
just-
did. 'Cause Tyson was down there. We started the pump, and he was down there, and it shivered so bad there. The pump really shook, and he come running out of the hole. What's going on? I mean, that pump. He says, something went through it. He says, and then we had to tear it, and then we ran a snake, and we couldn't get the snake through. So then he tears the pipes all apart, and there's this thing sticking into the pipe. And you look on your picture, and just that little piece
and that's before the check valve,
after.
after the check valve.
But it was plugged ahead of that before that.
We don't know. We put a new pump, hooked everything up.
Oh, then it went through it.
Then it went through it, the brand new pump. And it made all kind of noises, and then it was shivering. So you let it shivering. And then somehow it got through it. And I don't understand how either, but it did.
That went through the new pump you put in there.
That's right.
So maybe you guys dropped something
Oh,
while you're working
I know
on it.
that.
Oh, come
No,
on,
we
Fred. give me
We
a
didn't
break
have
here.
nothing there.
Here
That,
we go, though. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, okay.
I didn't know
You
that.
guys
You
do
didn't
that.
tell me that story. I thought it burned out the original pump.
What do you want to do?
I think we need to table it for now until we get more information.
If Ostagie still got it, we need to know what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would help.
Yeah.
That would help.
But I don't see why I gotta pull stuff out of the sewer and hang on to it. You know what I mean?
No, I understand that.
No, I understand too, but at this
So they
point-
did ask me, you want this? No, what the hell I want it for? You know, excuse me, but
Yeah.
I don't want that dirty thing. I'm not gonna play with that. You know,
Well, maybe we need to get the opinions of the other people that were there as well.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Have them come to a meeting and
Well, that's
explain
the
to
thing. I
us.
didn't know it went through the new pump that you put in. I thought the old pump burned out.
I was in that question. You were all screwed up there when I came
So
back.
that's-
Well, we're gonna table it.
We're done
until-
with
Yeah,
this right
yeah,
now.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm
We're
sorry.
gonna table it. The
Yeah.
bill is still in your court until you hear
Yeah, I
otherwise
gave it
from
to my
us.
lawyer. I told you that I would do
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Fine. So, thank you.
Yes, guys, thank you.
Not a problem.
No, I just, like I said, I just lost.
Well, you weren't the only one.
Yeah, it's,
You know, when we see $3,000 bills come
no
through,
shit, I know, trust me.
we deal with it, or
And
try
I'm
to.
on disability, I barely make my payments and I get this, like,
Right.
what the hell, you know? Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
We had DJ store. You see the bill. on that?
Right, and we agreed to,
Yes.
Yes.
We had to.
Yep.
that's fine.
And that was our fault.
Right.
Whatever went on. You want to talk after God? And never, all the years I worked on water, never had that problem.
Oh, you signed those already?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we
yeah,
knew,
yeah.
we knew.
You
about
don't know what I'm talking about there.
that. Unfinished new business? Are you done? I'm trying to move on.
Unless you
I
guys
get-
got something.
No.
I went home after supper. Early
Alright.
morning.
Unfinished new business? I have only one.
I got one thing, VLCT came back with their 2018, and they went down about $400-500 from last year's insurance.
Great.
Oh,
Thank
good.
you for putting that out for bid every year. Saves
Have
the
you
town
heard
money.
back from Sarah on that?
So we'll stay with VLCT.
The girl that was here on that?
No, I haven't heard things.
We're staying with VLCT
Okay.
insurance. She puts it out to bid every
Yes,
year and they
good.
beat the bid again.
Speaking of bidding, Newport Ambulance, we're gonna have a meeting with,
That was my next thing up.
okay,
Okay.
I'll let you go then.
But we do need to find out from Shane about that other.
Yeah, I gotta
That
know.
other,
budget.
yeah,
What we're talking about is we got a bill from, or an email from
State of Vermont.
Highway Department saying that we should put $2,600. The state's now charging us a general roads permit every year, $2,600. We gotta pay for a permit to work on our own roads.
The more you get involved with the state, the more you're gonna get screwed. And every time we do something with them, they come back with something else.
I believe that they are looking for new revenue.
No, I do too. They give us the money and then they want it back.
Anyway,
Okay,
so
we need to find out what it is.
we're looking at
Yeah,
that.
I agree. That's what you want to add.
Yeah.
That
And
don't make
then,
no sense.
thank you.
Anyway, we need to know about the.
Newport Ambulance.
Newport Ambulance.
Hey,
Okay.
guys. See ya.
Thank you, Fred.
I have this bill or
Yep.
cost estimate to towns. In
You need to go, Denise.
Yeah, in a couple minutes.
2016, it was $36,551. Last year, we put it out to bid to Missisquoi and Newport Ambulance. They came back at kept it level funded, $36,551. This year, they've got a substantial increase. Two different scenarios that they've presented to Coventry, Newport City, and us. We're in that kind of a regional thing. It jumped to 51,000 with one scenario, or 64,000 with another scenario. We're in kind of a unique situation because our contract, because of what we did last year, town meeting to town meeting, so that we weren't signing a contract prior to getting voter approval.
Yes.
We're unique like that. So the figures really don't affect us because we'll put the number out to the voters and the voters say yes, good. They say no, they've said no, we don't sign a contract.
Right.
It's that simple.
They're not approving the money, so we can't
But-
sign a contract.
The city of Newport and Coventry have their contract signed from January 1 to December 12. See, so they're going to have to sign a contract prior to voter approval. So they're trying to get the costs down working with Newport Ambulance, which, you know, Newport Ambulance is a private organization, and having a government agency tell a private organization how they're going to put their budget together doesn't really fly. The other thing that we're looking to do is incorporate Derby into this region of Newport Town. And by doing that, it actually lowered our assessment and everybody else's because of to make Newport Ambulance more efficient, they needed to have more calls.
Mhm.
More calls they have, the more efficient they become. So increasing that regional size. But I say the Newport City, myself and Coventry were around the table, and we invited Derby Select Board to come to that table, and there was Brian Smith and Perry Hunt. We discussed the ambulance and the situation and the costs, and there's issues with Derby Line Ambulance and the IRS and a bunch of things. So both Perry and Brian had thought that it may be a good idea if they became part of a bigger regional thing to make the ambulance service more efficient. But I think you read in the news, they had a select board meeting and it was unanimous to stay with Derby Line. So they're over there, and that's over and done with. So the scenario is now back to these two figures, either 51.
How long is Derby Line going to maintain?
We don't care about that.
Yeah.
That's them
Yeah.
and whatever. So my question is, prior to our putting our budget out, should we ask Missisquoi to give us another quote?
Absolutely.
Oh, I think we need to.
Okay.
I agree.
I think we need
So
to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Can I comment on that? Can I comment on that?
I beg your pardon?
Can I comment on that?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing this, that you're going to ask him for a quote. I mean, he came in here, he says he's having cash flow problems. Because
Who's having cash flow
he
problems?
is, the Newport Ambulance. He said...
you weren't clear. I wasn't sure who you were talking about.
Newport Ambulance is having cash flow problems because of insurance, so he says. Insurance deductibles increased or something like that, right? You know, and he's laying out, this is what we need, 50,000. And he also says, well, you don't have to hire us. You can get the other guy on, well, you know, the one on call, he said. So I'm not seeing, as a businessman, why we're answering to him on his quotes. Tell him we'll give you 20 grand. Take it or leave it. I mean, that's the way I would do business. He's saying, well, we got to have 50,000 because we're not making the money we expected because of
Barry,
deductibles. That's not our problem.
You don't understand where the figures come from. What they do is they take the per capita of each town and treat all the towns the same. So whatever Newport Town's got 1,200, it will, and if they come up with a figure that is so much per person, then it's multiplied times the $1,200, and you come up with the 51,000, or it comes up to 64,000, depending on what they're multiplying. But they treat each community exactly the same. That's where these figures are coming from, and it's just to help their budget because of the federal government and the state government not paying them what is due them.
Right, Medicare is
Right,
not
Medicare.
stepping up.
And I said that to Mike Marcotte, and he just sits there, you know. Anyway, so, and back to the question, I will get a hold of Missisquoi. That's a different ambulance service.
Correct.
They are not a 24/7.
No, they're on call.
They're an on-call service. The service that Newport Ambulance has, they have nighttime staff and daytime staff 24/7.
And staff that's not there because the station's uncovered.
That's right.
And that's what gets me. You cannot run a contracted service when there's nobody available and call Missisquoi or call Derby Line anyways.
Right, but and if they were here, they could answer those questions on
Yes.
why nobody was there.
Well, because they're on other calls.
Partly because of Derby Line Ambulance.
Mhm.
Derby Line, there's more money to be made in transfers
Yes,
than there is in ambulance service.
yes.
So when you take an ambulance service that just waits for transfers, they will then go out on that transfer. Somebody's got to cover for them.
Correct.
And that's where Newport Ambulance was getting, what do they call that? Mutual aid.
Mutual aid, yes.
Now, is it mutual aid or not? See, and that's what Newport Ambulance has now got an agreement with the town of Derby that they are to be notified prior to ambulance service taking off.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you. Bye, Denise.
Bye.
Prior to taking off on a transfer, so that no, this is not really mutual aid. This is because you've elected to do something different. So Newport Ambulance Service is now billing the town of Derby when they go up there on a call.
Okay.
So, you know, so that us, Newport Town, Newport City, and Coventry aren't underwriting Newport Ambulance Service going to Derby to cover their calls. So it's all trying to be worked out.
Yeah.
And the next meeting is next Thursday at the council room in Newport at noon. It's right at noon. So you're welcome to attend. So, I've been to the last two. Ernest.
Do we really need an ambulance?
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We do.
Why?
People
Why?
want.
You
We
gonna-
never had. We never had.
Are you going to
ambulance.
pay
We
the
grew up-
$1,000 bill out of your pocket if they come to your house?
We don't. We just get in the car and go.
Well, that
That's
may
what
be-
he said too. That's what he said. A lot of people are just
Yeah,
doing it, not
just get
paying
in the car
anyway.
and go.
A lot of people.
So
I do.
that's the way we used to. That's the way we used to do it
We-
before we had all these ambulances.
And Ernest,
And you can't go on forever paying for nothing.
But that's
and that's
why
what we're
we
doing.
we need to bring it up to the people.
right.
Yes.
That's why we vote on it.
We
Yeah.
are doing our due diligence, okay?
Yes.
We are going to present to town meeting
Okay.
something
This
for ambulance service. Now, the people can get together and say, no, we don't want an ambulance service. Or, yes, we do want an ambulance service. Or, yes, we want 2 ambulance services. We can call them assist. It's up to the voters.
As long as you somebody else pays for it.
last year they come in and I don't remember what the figure was, but it was 40-something thousand.
Right
And
here,
we
35.
discussed it. Or,
36.
that was-
36,551.
no, that's what we paid.
Right.
Right.
But they come in with a figure.
Oh, right.
Yes.
We negotiated it down to this when we took it to the people.
Correct.
And they also wanted a contract signed from January 1, and we said, no, we cannot give you anything until the people vote on it.
That's right.
So we were on, well, what we called it at the time, until town meeting, and the people decide. We didn't decide. We're just trying to set something up to give to you guys to vote on.
And our contract goes
That's-
until after
it
town meeting.
says
right?
it's
That's
You're
right.
reasonable.
still taking money from certain individuals to pay for it.
We're taking
taking tax
tax
money.
dollars.
That's right. And
But
Only-
the people are voting on it.
only-
We're
yeah,
not.
well, so if you don't pay no taxes, you don't pay no guy. You don't. It don't cost you nothing.
We're not
Be
taking
awful
it from
careful.
anyone. We're putting it in front of the voters.
The voters are
They're the ones
agreeing
that
to this,
decide.
not us.
Well, the voters can agree, but they've gone to such a point that these people
Well,
present money and present money and present bills and present bills. You have
That's
all
something
these
you need to
organizations
explain to the
present
people.
bills and present bills, and this has nothing to do with operating the town. This is completely
This-
separate, and
this-
you be careful.
this-
I'm getting sick of this.
This is an item for town meeting. This
Yeah.
is not a
So
select
we're just
board
getting
item.
it set up.
Yeah.
You need to get up and tell the people that.
Sure.
Oh, I do, but I
You're welcome to use my Facebook if you want to talk to people. That's what I'm about.
We are doing what we need to do as a select board to put information before the voters.
The voters every year have voted to do this. Okay?
Well, they vote
The
for a lot of
ambulance,
things.
the
They
ambulances
vote
come-
everything in. It's
The
a
Vote
joke.
ambulance-
everything in.
They
the
vote
ambulance-
everything in. They'll vote it. If it's there, they'll vote it in.
If
The
you go,
ambulances come to tell us that they want more money.
Yeah.
We've got to take it to the people. That's all we're doing.
if you
We're not
go
saying
on
we want.
Facebook, you better make sure you have all the facts correct before you go.
It's a little different with the city of Coventry because of where their contract is. They don't have it as a line like we do.
Right.
Theirs is put into their, like our
Total budget.
town budget.
Yeah.
See, so, and I still feel uncomfortable with that when
Yeah, I don't like that.
I like it as a line.
a number comes through, and the scenario that I had put out was that, so the town's budget gets amended at town meeting because somebody doesn't like Newport ambulance. So they amend it down to $20,000, like what Barry just said. That gets amended.
Mhm.
Now, we have a signed contract for 51. We have to pay the 51.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
So we're taking it from where?
Yeah.
And when you have a $200,000 town budget and you're taking 51 grand out of that, that's a big chunk.
Yeah.
You know, so no,
It's up to the people.
I agree.
It's up to the
decide whether we
voters.
do
It's up to the voters.
that. Not us.
the voters say 51, not a problem.
Our input on this is how we vote when we get there. You know, really. I mean, we're not gonna say yes to this sitting here, the three of us. The people are the ones that tell us.
For the last 5 years, it's getting out of hand. How many articles do you present at the town meeting
Yeah.
for funds?
And
It's getting out of hand. And all these organizations, I'm not against all these organizations, but if you want to support this organization, then you should support it in the town.
Well, the
It
thing-
starts
Now,
at
don't
the,
force somebody else to support
it starts at the state level. I don't know if you heard earlier this evening,
Yeah,
we're now having to purchase a permit for $2,600 from the state of Vermont
yeah,
just to work on our roads.
when I first became a selectman,
yeah.
I was very new to this, and Steve brought it up to me that when you open this book, there was a list of all these things. And all I had to do was call up the town of Jay and say that I wanted the Jerry Waterman Fund. And that's all you had to do. And they voted on it. You could throw $500 or $200. So we went to the petition vote where
Right.
those things out there.
Need to have so
And
many,
we
so many
changed it to
signatures.
that. You gotta have so
Right.
many signatures.
And we
So,
have
even-
exempted Newport Ambulance, the fire department.
Exactly. There's certain ones that you
Right.
have.
You know,
to.
that you don't need to have them go get signed petitions, you know, that's just basic
Even at
services.
town
for
meeting,
them.
what gets me, how many people are there to get up and speak to about some of these?
No.
It's there and the people vote on it. I get so discouraged, suddenly, just like you guys.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
And they voted through and it's like, man, are you kidding? Nobody even explains it.
Yeah.
But they're voting it through.
It's getting out of
I
hand.
know. That's
Getting
my
out of
thing.
hand, guys.
It's the undue influence.
It's
And
our
it- and
responsibility to get the proper information to put forward to the voters. That's what we're going to do.
We each have one vote.
Yeah, but you have a responsibility to operate this town.
Well, of course it is. Of course it is. But we each
And-
have one vote.
And we have all, in all the years that I've been in here, and I can't tell you how many, I think it's around 12 now, but
Oh, yeah.
we have kept the budget, the town budget, pretty
Oh, yeah.
level funded.
Yep.
It's the-
In all those years, I don't think we've raised it much, only a couple of years on our paving. Other than that, I think we've done well.
All right.
I make
Where
a
are we
motion,
on?
we adjourn.
I second that.
We don't need an executive
We
session.
do not.
Motion to adjourn at